head coach issues, offensive coordinator issues, quarterback is a mess. So before we start yelling and screaming, Joe, first of all, Happy New Year, buddy. How you doing today, Joe?
Same to you guys. Well, how could I be doing good? I mean, I'm disgusted with everything. But Happy New Year, and it was a pleasure filling in for you guys last week.
Oh, I'm glad.
I heard you a couple times going around, doing some errands, and I also heard you at one point say that you want to give Mike White a 1-year, $25 million deal. Please tell me we're done with Mike White.
I don't know. Well, look, I'll say this. Let's start with the real problem. Mike White's just okay. Well, he is what he is. Okay, he was hurt yesterday, but I'm not. Look, he was terrible. I'm not exonerating him.
Mm-hmm.
This to me is on the head coach.
Yep.
This team doesn't show up 2 weeks in a row.
Mm-hmm.
This team's lost 5 straight games. They're on their way to a 6-game complete collapse. This is all about him. And looking and just watching him, because I watch all these press conferences now. The body language, even last week before the Seattle game, he's talking. Well, we're treating this game like another game, like it's Seattle. He's not talking about the playoffs, and the playoffs start now. I mean, that was a disgrace.
Hey, Joe, do you think that he's defeated? Because think about earlier in the season. Think about earlier in the season when, they got off to a rough start and he's keeping receipts.
Right.
And, he was angry.
Right.
And I just read this quote to BT, and it's telling because you're right about how he's responded these last couple of weeks. It's kind of laissez-faire. This is what Tyler Conklin said. The one thing I keep coming back to, this is his quote, it just feels like for the implications of this football game, meaning yesterday's game, that we just got flat at times. I don't know what to attribute that to. That sounds like coaching to me, and it sounds like this cliche that we always throw out. All right, you take on the personality of your head coach. Brian Daboll's been fiery all season long for the New York Giants, good and bad.
Coach of the year.
Exactly. Robert Saleh kind of fell into like a defeated, I can't find my way out of it, and his players kind of did the same thing.
And look, I don't think there's any question about it. I mean, to me, it's all about the coach here. It really is. And I'll tell you right now, and I've heard, and I don't know, you hear different things from different people. I don't know who I believe, what's true, what's not.
Yeah.
I hear Woody Johnson's very ticked off, all right? That's what I'm hearing.
Good.
So, right, good. So if I'm Woody Johnson, you know what I do, B? You know what I do? And I hate the fact that it's the revolving door of coaches every 2 years, 4 years. We got a new coach.
Mm-hmm.
Rex Ryan's here 6 years, and that's like eternity. I'd be on the phone right now to Sean Payton and say, Sean, what would it take for you to come here and rescue my franchise? What?
Joe?
How much money? What would it freaking take?
Joe, I said it on December 23rd. I said the same thing the day after the Jaguars game. I'm totally with you, man. I mean, I got to tell you, for a team that had to win the game yesterday, they came out as if they were a 2-13 team playing the string. And the only time that Saleh gets fiery is when, they do something well. I actually think that's – not that you can't celebrate, but I think the time you need to really inject some emotion is when things are going awry, and instead he just stands there surprisingly stone-faced like Todd Bowles.
Terrible. And I'll tell you, I think he's much too nice a guy.
Yeah.
I don't think there's enough accountability for these guys. I really don't think that. I didn't think that last year, and now more than ever, I don't think it. Like Tiki said, after they lose to the Ravens, I'm taking receipts. After they lose to Buffalo, we'll see Buffalo again. Well, where was that?
Yeah.
That's gone. Now with the season on the line, that's gone. I'm telling you, I'd be on the phone, Sean Payton. Now, I think he's still under contract.
He is.
It might cost you draft choices, and I hate giving up number 1 picks, but if you tell me, B and Tiki, that we can get Sean Payton in here, I'm in.
Joe, I agree. And I said this to Tiki as well, and I said it off the air, and then I said it on. I'm like, so I don't know, what do the Jets pick? Like number 16, whatever they're going to pick.
Whatever
it is, right? So they're
it's getting higher all the time, by the way.
That's true. But they probably go offensive line. Okay. We've drafted.
I'm going to look this up. What is the site that gives you the?
I don't even. Well, there's a Walter Camp. I mean, just fine, just to do a general Google search, whatever. So they're going to pick some offensive lineman. You tell me that guy's going to change the fortunes? I know AVT is really good, and Brick was good, and Mangold. I know we've drafted some outstanding.
Right. Well, they need offensive linemen.
Well, sure. I know they do. But you need a head coach. And more importantly, you need an offense that is not directionless. So, Joe, here's my fear, okay?
Go ahead.
I'm with you. I actually said with Peyton December 23rd, I'm on the record, okay? My fear is this, that Woody Johnson goes to Saleh and says, all right, and I think we all think, no, the OC needs to be changed. And because I think we all respect Saleh because he's a man of principle, I could see Saleh saying, if directed by Woody, I'm not firing him, all right? And then Woody says, okay, you're fired. And then so Saleh's gone, which if it's for Sean Payton would be okay.
Right.
But then the Jets don't get Payton. They don't get Jim Harbaugh. Robert Saleh's gone. The Jets hire a stupid search firm because they don't know how to do it themselves, and they hire some guy who has no clue, and we're right back to square one.
All right, here's the guy. If you can't get Sean Payton, and if all that happens, okay, and you can't get Sean Payton, I'll give you two names.
Okay.
Number one, and I don't know if he's blackballed out of the league, Brian Flores, number one.
Brian Flores. Interesting. Okay.
And number two, and then you might think I'm out of my mind.
Don't say Rex.
Yeah, oh yeah.
No,
I
don't
think
want Rex
run
back.
here to
No
coach
way.
the team.
No way.
You get Rex back. You get Rex back with a major chip on his shoulder, okay? And he's lobbying to coach the team. If you listen to him on ESPN, he's lobbying to coach the team, okay? I got to think about it, B. He's one of the best coaches we ever had.
Okay, but what is that saying, dude? It's like...
But you can't bring another coordinator in here. Like
No,
you just said,
I agree with that.
You can't give me, if you get rid of Saleh, you cannot give me the next hot coordinator.
Well, no, Joe, that's why
That's not happening.
I agree, Joe. That's why I'm prefacing everything with, unless you can get Payton or Harbaugh.
What do you think of Flores?
No, I don't want Flores. He ruined Tua. I don't think he's a good...
I don't think he ruined it?
Yeah, I think he handled it horrendously. Okay. He's not an offensive guy. No. And by the way,
the Dolphins are in a free fall.
I understand that. But, Joe, the thing, by the way, the great Joe Bening was with us here on The Fan. The thing about...
You don't want Rex?
I don't want Rex.
He's
what do you think,
I like
What's
Rex.
your thoughts on Rex?
Rex thinks he won the Super Bowl here. He didn't.
Yeah. By the way, I was just looking this up on tankathon.com.
Oh, there's the good one. That's the one.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yes,
the Jets are actually 13.
Here we go.
And
is that what
let's go.
13?
And by the way, Joe, if they lose and a couple of these other teams
if
win,
they lose, did you say if, Tiki?
Okay, when they lose,
did you say if?
When they lose, and they finish 7-10, and a couple of these other teams, Atlanta or Vegas or Carolina or whoever,
keep winning.
Wins,
yep,
they could jump inside the top 10.
Let's go.
So
why not?
So
why not?
Joe,
like it matters.
Yesterday,
Rex
Rex was waxing poetic about Woody Johnson. Did you see this?
I actually did hear something.
That's what I'm saying. He's lobbying for the job.
Lobbying for the job.
I don't want Rex.
But when was the last time that the Jets felt like, man, they might have a shot? It was under Rex.
No question.
And love or hate Rex, what we were just alluding to with Robert Saleh, like his energy has waned. It has not been consistent. And therefore, you look at the team who takes on the personality head coach, as the cliche goes, you wonder why they've been so inconsistent. Rex was defiant and loud and boisterous and whatever 100% of the time.
And the last 4 years, it was hollow rhetoric because it wasn't backed up by anybody, including his defense.
One thing about the last 4 years, he was undermined when he got rid of Tannenbaum. They should have never got rid of Tannenbaum, B. That killed them. When they brought Idzik in, that was the end of it.
Yeah.
That was the big mistake.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. That's
what
true
he
with that.
should have done is kept Tannenbaum and Rex together, and I think they would have figured it out. I really do.
Well, let me ask you this, Joe.
There are worse ideas. I'll say that, Joe.
Okay, so T, you're okay with it? I mean, by the way,
I just happen to like Rex. And when every time he'd see my wife in like the Starbucks,
bro, you know one
just
thing?
hang out
Here's
and
another
down.
thing, too. You know what else, too, guys? Seriously. And obviously, we need a quarterback, and that's another discussion. But let me just say this about Rex, okay? All right? Immediately, we have an identity again. We have no identity. What is our identity? What is it? That we stink? That we choked again?
What it always is.
Right.
That we're not good. Yeah.
I mean,
I got it.
I mean, what is it?
He would be galvanizing. Fans would rally. And again, I love Rex. I loved him here.
Got to get a quarterback.
But
though.
Joe, but
Who's
you got to,
quarterback?
Joe, but hold on, Joe, because I listened to you on this station for years, shredding Rex's defense, getting shredded late.
Right.
That did happen.
And that's what's happening now to his defense.
No, I understand that.
In fact, his defense, it's not even late. They're giving it up right away.
The first play from scrimmage.
Bro, 60 yards. Bro, you knew yesterday, 60 yards untouched up the middle, the game's over.
Oh, I know.
The game's over.
I'm just saying, let's not recreate what Rex was. They were a lot worse than Rex, but he wasn't Parcells.
No, of course. But I think I really think this is a guy with something to prove now. He's dying to coach again. He would walk here to be the head coach.
Let me tell you what I would take. Can I throw something crazy
out
out?
for a minute,
Can I give you something wacky? Here's what I would
out.
take. I got something
Dick
for you guys.
Vermeil was out a long time too, Tiki. He came back. They won a Super Bowl with the Rams.
That's true. I would take, if you tell me that Rex is coming back to coach, and I'll tell you who I want as his offensive coordinator.
Who?
Brian Schottenheimer.
Dan Orlovsky.
Oh, really?
Maybe.
Would he do it?
You got Jeff Saturday situation going on over here.
Well,
I'll
that's
take
a little
Orlovsky.
different.
Yeah, I know. It's very different. But, I mean, Orlovsky's a
You want
good,
Brian Schottenheimer
good
again?
mind. Schottenheimer's
I thought Schottenheimer was bad. You know what?
Yeah.
I take it. This guy, this LaFleur, he's lost.
Oh, he's got to be. He
stinks.
Yeah, he's stinks.
Yeah,
I
at
mean,
the very least,
I
he's
can't
gone.
say enough bad about this guy.
Yeah. So, Joe, quarterback situation. I mean, it looks like they're going to hang on to Zach Wilson for next year, and I'm going to try to trade him.
You keep saying that. I don't agree with that.
I think
they got to get a veteran.
I think
Teak.
Woody likes him. So what do you want to do at quarterback? Zach can't come in next season and just be anointed the starter like he was this year.
They got to get a veteran guy.
Now, who do you want?
I don't really love Derek Carr. I don't love him. But
Jimmy Garoppolo?
I like Garoppolo better than Carr. What do you think of Mayfield? Am I nuts?
No, you're not nuts. You're not
Baker
nuts.
Mayfield, he's a humbled guy now.
Yeah, and by the way, he was a really good
nuts.
backup when he was where was he?
Carolina.
Carolina. He got benched because he was starting for a minute, and then he got benched, and he was actually a really energetic backup. Remember headbutting the offensive lineman? They would win with no
he's
helmet on.
He's another guy that's been humbled. Tiki, he's going to be on his fourth team next year. This guy,
which is
he's
crazy.
Only
Okay, but Joe,
27 years old.
But Joe, I'm okay with Baker.
I'm just throwing it out
no,
there.
I got you. But if it's Baker, I want to follow up with that. If it's Baker, who do you have as number 2? Is it Mike White? Is it Zach Wilson?
No, it's Zach. It's got to be.
It's got to be Zach.
It's got to be Zach. Whoever you're bringing in.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's Zach has got to be. Zach's going to be on the team.
Joe, you agree with that, Joe?
But he can't be handed the job.
No,
I
agree.
He was handed the job this year. Hell, he was handed the job as a rookie.
I'm going to go back to what I said before with Sean Payton if he came here. I never thought, and this goes for all these guys. I mean, even going back to Sanchez, Geno, Donald, none of these guys were coached right, and I don't think Zach was coached right.
No, he definitely wasn't. He was failed.
I mean, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
You get the right guy in here that can connect with the quarterback and teach. The kid's got talent, okay? He got booed out in the Jaguar game, deservedly so. But you talk about a guy that's been humbled. I mean, this guy's been humbled big time now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's interesting because he's at a spot, Zach Wilson, where if he wants to resurrect his career, he's got to grind like he's never grinded before in his life.
Grinded.
He's got a ground. It doesn't sound right. He's got
don't sound right.
He's got a
Ground
ground.
and pound?
No, he's got to grind. Yeah, I said it right. Whatever. He's got to go the extra mile like he's never done before because he's not only fighting lack of success, he's fighting fan ire.
Yes.
Oh, and that is hard to do, man. It is hard because you got to be great in order to usurp that. You got to be great. And I don't know if he's going to be great quick enough unless he just keeps his head to the grindstone and is just going and going and going.
And by the way, guys, even with Daniel Jones early, it was never as venomous as it was the other night with the Jaguars.
No.
That was a sound, Joe.
Oh, that was unbelievable.
Joe, you've been around the scene forever in New York.
Yeah.
And
I was there for that game.
I know you were. Credit for sitting through that slop in the rain. But when you get pelted with that level of vitriol, what New York athletes actually recovered from that sort of
Diaz.
hate? Who?
Edwin Diaz.
Yeah, Diaz. Okay. Anybody else? It's a short list, right?
Yeah, but by the way, Joe, Edwin Diaz did it by being great, like the best reliever in baseball.
Right. He turned it completely around.
Zach's got to really be great. I don't know if he's going to do it. Before we let you go, Joe, I know we got a minute here.
Yeah, whatever.
Go.
Good.
Carlos Correa, where is he playing next year?
Playing for the Yankees. You didn't hear?
Here's what I think about that situation. I mean, he's signing somewhere. He's going to be playing for somebody next year.
Yeah.
Okay, it should be my Mets. It should be because he's going to be maybe the Yankees. I wouldn't.
Nah, it's going to be the Mets. He's going to wind up in Queens.
What's the deal going to look like?
6-7 years. That's what I think they're working on. There's no way they give him 12-13.
They got to cut the years down.
Yep. I agree.
They have to.
Well, by
Sean
the way,
Payton.
Go ahead, Joe.
Sean Payton, guys. No, I thought I was leaving. So I'm leaving
listen,
with Sean
I'll say this. Nobody's ever going to anoint us, meaning me and you, Joe, as the smartest Jet fans. But we might get the mantle of the loudest Jet fans.
Well, you tell me. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Seriously, and I don't consider myself smart. Or
no, that's why I say we're just loud. If we keep yelling for Sean Payton,
loud. But But when does it end? I mean,
I don't
you look
know.
at the coaches we've had. It makes me crazy. Bro, Al Groh. I mean, just from 2000. We got Al Groh.
Yep.
We got Herman Edwards. We got Eric Mangini. We got Rex Ryan. We got Todd Bowles. We got Adam Gase. And we got Robert Saleh. When does it end?
Well, hopefully
When do we
now with
finally-
Sean Payton.
Do you think Woody was going to call the guy? Do you think Payton
honestly,
would take the
do I
job?
think so, Joe?
Do you think he would
No.
take the job?
Well, do I think he would take the job? No, unless now you get rid of Douglas and everybody. If he's given complete ownership,
Well, he has to.
Well, I know.
You'd have to.
Then maybe. I don't know what he thinks about Zach, so that's part of the answer. I don't know how he feels about it.
Right.
Is he salvageable? Listen, this needs to almost be a surrender by Woody and a Leon Hess moment where Leon Hess went,
Yes.
Parcells,
Yes.
save me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Save
yes.
me.
Absolutely.
But there's
100%.
not a lot. It's really Sean Payton, and that's it. There's no other coach that has
I tell
that.
you, Rex is not crazy. Harbaugh's not coming here.
No.
I'm going to throw one more. I'm going to say one more thing about this coach. Okay.
Go ahead.
If he's the coach that going next year, that's it. You got to. If you don't get me to the playoffs, you're gone.
Oh, that's a given, Joe.
No, but I'm just saying. I just want to make sure that's out here. If this coach is back, okay, we have to make the playoffs next year. And I need to hear the owner say that. I need to hear the owner put the pressure on him right now.
Say anything.
Wow.
Only thing he tweets is what
he
stupid
probably
uniforms
won't,
we're wearing to
but
lose.
I mean, he should. You know what I mean?
Joe,
You're not wrong,
listen,
Joe.
Joe, I love you, but you
Tiki,
asked
you want to coach the team?
No.
No, we don't want him. He's a giant.
Yeah.
You asking Woody
care.
Johnson.
Nor do I want that
Well,
grunt.
yeah,
Although
Bill
maybe we need
Parcells,
some
he was
giant
a giant.
players. That's true. That's true.
We had
You know,
Bill.
I get my brother to
I'll
do
take
it.
Daniel Jones too. while we're at
Rondé
it.
loves the game.
Oh
He'll
my
do it.
God,
Rondé
Daniel.
coach.
Let me tell you, Daniel Jones. He won't get it, but he merits MVP consideration. When you consider what this guy has done with the offensive weapons around him,
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I said the
Unbelievable.
same thing, Joe. If you look at the actual definition of the award,
Yeah.
it's not preposterous to say the kid should get a few votes. He's
Yeah.
not going
No-
to win.
no
It's become a
I'm with you.
quarterback. It's become a who can throw for the most yards and touchdowns quarterback award.
Well, it's
Period.
also become very much, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow. That's what it is.
Yeah.
you know?
Yep. Anybody
It's
but
hard to
but a
crack
Jet.
that.
All right, buddy.
Right. Or Daniel Jones in this case.
Well, listen, Joe, we love you. Happy New Year, buddy. It was cool hearing you during the middays, filling in for us, and thanks for obviously holding it down for us while we were out.
Appreciate you, Joe.
Another year up the rear end, T. All the love.
What a way to finish. Another.